All right, day 4. So for the last, I'd say 2 days, I've been in a really good mood, and it's been great. Honestly, I didn't get a ton of sleep, but I woke up very excited and happy, and I was the morning person this morning that my kids aren't normally used to seeing, and honestly, my daughter was a little scared actually by it. She was like, I was like, "Are you scared?" And she's like, um, and I'm sure this is all gonna change quickly. But I guess for the next, hopefully, I'll try to ride this as long as I can. This wave of feeling good that I am sticking to something and I'm doing it, and um, I'm gonna keep trying. Keep pushing, and I will say this too, that um, signing up for a year of this or more so far has been a great idea because it tricks my brain into stopping to try to get out of it and more of how to get through it. Um, and I think that's kind of the point. I think eventually I need to reframe the goal even further to say, the goal isn't for a year. The goal is to reach some sort of number. But I think if I start with that in mind, I think that will overwhelm me and I won't be able to actually like focus on anything. And I think it'll take me down the wrong direction, honestly. But I think that eventually I need to have something that is meaningful to somebody and, to be heading in that direction. But on day 4, I mean, I'm just gonna be happy today that I almost quit and I didn't. I got over the first hurdle, the first of 1,000 hurdles. There's a reason why 90% of podcasts have less than 10 episodes. Like there's a reason for all of that. There's a reason for it's just being so hard to get over the hump, and there's a reason why 99% of people don't ever start a podcast. Or any project really that puts them in a public light or forces them to talk about themselves. So, I can think of it as I have no plan, no direction, and this is kind of a total mess. Or I can enjoy the fact that I'm one step closer to beating out 90% of 90% of people. And I think going back to what I've been saying each day is the hearing the story of the biography of someone's life, and it's saying they spent years doing this and years doing that, I think is great to tell you what to do with your life. But I think it's these kind of days that actually teach people or show people and help teach me what that actually is like every day, because it's awful. It's frustrating and scary, and once again I can see why the most powerful people in the world skip this step in a lot of ways. They kind of have that overconfidence. They kind of have that just knowing that they're going to figure it out, or that kind of, I've heard it said, like a delusional idea of what they're capable of. And I think you need that to get going, to get off the ground, to get liftoff. I think you need a lot of that. And so this is me pretending to have that for as long as I can until hopefully we get off the ground, whatever that means. The funny thing is I don't have a plan yet, and that's, once again, it's so not like me. I'm a planner. I'm a figure it out person, and I don't like to walk into a situation or a meeting or anything without a real plan. And I think that's kind of the point of this, is as once again growth for me. I just texted some of my friends to ask if they wanted to be on this, and and the first question is like, what's it about? Is it just talking? And I had a good it's like 3 minutes of thinking to myself, like, how do I answer that question? How do I like explain without scaring people. But also like explaining that I don't have a great plan. I mean, I did kind of like, as I thought more about this, and I'm kind of thinking about this every day a little bit more. And I think at some point, if I'm being honest, I need to be entertaining in some way. That's the baseline. No one's gonna care or watch or learn from anybody who they don't find entertaining, because it's just not how humans work. I think there's human psychology you're kind of bumping up against at some point. Yeah, and I think that it's just that's the persona that I need to like build and get used to. But it's been great feeling like at least starting and knowing that there's no, or not knowing, but like pretending that I'm not going to quit, and pretending that this is my new life. I'm in startup school because we're trying to start a company. I guess I'm starting multiple companies, but I've been watching those videos nonstop. I've been like I keep saying, reading books nonstop. And something that I found really interesting was this chart. And I recently launched an AI company that is super crappy, and I don't really intend to do much with it except try to sell it. But thank God I launched that in a month, because it taught me this curve exactly. And it's fun because now I can see where I am on this curve, because I've been through not the full thing yet. I've been through only half of it so far. My AI company thing is like definitely right here, and I've been trying to sell it since it was right here. I was immediately like quitting on it. As soon as this isn't even the company. As soon as I stopped feeling this high, I was like, this is not a good idea. This is a waste of my time. I need to, this is gonna, competitors are gonna kill me immediately. It's not a viable business, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't even make it through the trough of sorrow. I kind of just, and then honestly, the fact that it didn't sell because I stopped marketing it, explains exactly what's happening. It's like now I'm starting to get people that actually find it, and some of them find it useful, and it's on accident, because I started getting, backlinks from other websites that found it interesting and wanted to put it on their website and things like that. And it's ironic, right? I'm trying to get out and other people are starting to use it finally, and I should be happy and excited, but I've already made the decision in my head that I'm out, that it doesn't matter, that it's a bad idea, and it always was a bad idea. And I'm agree it like I'm reframing the story in my head to agree with myself, right, of what reality is. This was a bad idea and I need to get out immediately, despite starting to see wiggles of false hope. And so, but my point is I guess with this whole graph is, I know I'm right here right now, I'm right here right now, and I'm going to think I'm a genius in about 3 weeks. And then I'm going to feel like a total idiot for about 4 or 5 months. I'm going to feel like this was like, why? And this is going to be the hardest time not to quit. This is going to be the hardest time. This part, I feel like there's some sort of like self-fulfillingness to it, where you realize you're hitting rock bottom, and you realize that that's a good thing because you know more than you thought you did. Like when you can start noticing what rock bottom feels like. I feel like that's half the battle, because you start to realize what it takes to not be there permanently, and also it's not going to be like that permanently, because it seems like that's just too unlucky. But I'm so glad I kind of stumbled onto this graph, because it also frames any project you're ever going to do. I mean, I think it's easy to say this is for companies, but this is for every project. And I'll say this, my whole life, I quit right here, and maybe the best projects I quit somewhere in here, but pretty much every time this arrow hits right here, I go, oh, I guess it wasn't my career. I guess it wasn't my path. I guess it wasn't who I was supposed to be. That's not the area I'm going to be great in. And I think it just keeps going back to the people that are great. They laugh at this. They still feel these things, I guess I shouldn't say that. They feel these things, but they kind of put themselves in a box, in my opinion, where there isn't another line. This is the only line they have. There aren't 10 or 20 of these different graphs that sprout every 3 weeks when they start a new project. They only have one project, and they go through this start to finish, and they play long-term games with long-term people. They do not deviate from this plan, and this could be when they're like the stories where they're cut from their high school team or whatever, or their company goes bankrupt the first 5 times and they keep trying. um, the Dyson vacuum guy, he made 3 years he made like 1,000 different versions of the Dyson vacuum while having 3 kids and not being able to pay his mortgage. And I don't know how his wife didn't like leave him, but I can't imagine what that trough of sorrow was like for years, every single day sitting in a garage tinkering with a vacuum cleaner, knowing thinking something about this being a great idea, thinking you're smarter than everyone else on earth that's selling vacuums at the time. Like, it just takes such balls. But those are the people that we're impressed by and want to be like. But I keep saying, I hope this is showing you this is what the having balls part is like on the other side of it, when you don't have the biography and the huge bank account and the huge company and employees and success and people wanting to talk to you while it's happening. Like, we don't hear about any of these people, not even until they're like up here, and they have all of this, and this could be 10 years of their life every single day, just like today, day 4 for me. Every single one of these points on this line was a day of their life where they felt insecure and felt like, what am I doing? And then they kept pushing, and I think I read somewhere in one of my books that, like, if you ever encounter a hurdle in your project or whatever you're trying to do or accomplish, that's usually where 90% of other people quit. And once you get through the first 90% and the second 90% and the third 90%, you get smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's when you end up being a billionaire, is once you can push through all of these obstacles. I'm not a huge Elon Musk fan right now with all the different things he's doing with Twitter, but he has a great quote, and it's your value is tied to the amount of problems you solve in the world. And so if you want to be valuable and want people to need you and like you and be worth a lot of money, go solve some problems, because that's a really good way or that's the only way to, achieve that. I've heard the quote too, that like, to be a billionaire, you have to make 1,000 millionaires. You have to bring so many people with you and share that success with so many people. There's really no other way to do it other than to bring everyone else up with you, and then you get some portion of whatever they're making in that process. But it's one day, every day is one day. I'm going to continue to think about how to build this. Today is my official launch date of Copilot University, whatever that means. I think it's easy to get caught up in launch days or whatever, but until I have a paying customer, I don't have a launch day. I'm uncomfortable about it, but I'm going to start posting on Facebook and things in different areas to try to get customers. I'm trying to get business owners to sign up to get coached in AI tools. And I think the weird thing is I've kind of gotten over my uncomfortability of feeling like I'm an imposter in that realm, because if I talk to somebody and I can't help them, great. They don't need me. Like, that's awesome. They're that plugged in that they, if I can't help them, great. That's amazing for them. Rather than to take away that from that conversation that I'm wrong, I'm bad, I need to do more, be more. I think there's always room to reevaluate on like a monthly basis or something. But I think right now, the trick is put yourself out there and try to find people that need your help, because there's probably 10 to 1 people that need your help versus don't. And, as humans, we're conditioned to take that one negative thing and only think about it, only worry about it when there's 20 other positive things in our head. And, and it makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint to do that. You eat the one bad apple, your brain remembers that one bad apple and don't eat that bad apple again because it could kill you, but doesn't remember the other 20 great apples you ate and other 20 great people you met. You remember that one bad comment because that's the thing that could have, got you, kicked out of the tribe, whatever it was. It makes a lot of sense, but in today's world, it makes more sense to point at that, smile at it a little bit, and say, like, thank you. Thanks for helping me. I know what you're here for, and I need to pretend you don't exist a little bit sometimes. Maybe a lot, depending what your project is. But so day 4, like I said, I feel good today. The more I talk about this, about not having a plan, I get kind of scared, I guess. But keep pushing. I feel good. I think I'm going to start, like I said, I need to habit stack this so that I do it. I'm going to do it right around lunchtime every day. I think that's a good way to get it done, get it over with. But who knows? Every day is going to be different. But I need to make this easy to do. And I thought about, I need to make it entertaining and interesting, but also I need to not put more effort into it because I don't have time to. I think at some level I'm choosing to only get a B or C in this because I'm not going to edit it. I'm not going to script it too much. I could change that obviously if I need to. I don't know. But right now I'm sitting here going, if I spend 2 or 3 hours trying to make the most amazing daily podcast ever, I won't. I'll quit because it'll be too overwhelming. So maybe I'll get there, but I need to just hit start recording, have some sort of general plan of what to talk about, and move and go and get out of there and get something that's, gets my brain out there and explains what's going on. But I think at this point, if I tried to add more to that right now, I would quit. Or I would make excuses and then quit. And so I hope that helps you if you're on this journey too. Is I know what I need to do because I can Google stuff like everyone else, and I probably need to be editing and having cool songs and guests and everything. But I can't. I won't do that. That would overwhelm me. And I think of all my friends that have had trouble losing weight or getting into something. Most of the time it's they get obsessed with the idea and then they make it this crazy hard thing to achieve because it has to be perfect, and then they miss a day or they don't feel like it or they get injured or something, and then what? And then they quit because they broke their plan. And so I read this, I guess I'm just going to name off quotes the whole time. I need to attribute these things better. I guess that's one thing I should improve on. But I read this other quote that said, you shouldn't plan to go to the gym for an hour every day. You should plan to go to the gym for 5 minutes every day though, for 3 weeks, every single day. Just, you're going to feel dumb. You're going to get on a stupid bike for like 2 minutes, and then you're going to get off and go home. And everyone at the gym is going to look at you funny, and it's not going to make any sense to anyone that you talk to. But that will actually help you long-term better than anything else will, because you will actually build up the good habit of going to the gym. And then you can take that 5 minutes and make it 10 minutes and make it 20 minutes and make it an hour. Make it all whatever you need to be to achieve your goals. But until you start with something that stupidly small, and make it part of who you are, that's the thing that actually makes things work and makes you grow. That's where growth comes from, is being so stupidly small in your amount of change you want, but making it every day. That's not how our brains want to work, but it's how they work. It's not how our new brain, our non-reptilian brain works. Our non-reptilian brain wants dopamine and instant gratification and intricate puzzles to entertain us constantly. But the reptilian brain wants to do the same thing every single day. And that's where addiction comes from. That's where everything comes from. I'm sure there's some science behind all that will say that's not true in some form, but I think generally that's true. And my point is, make it part of your reptilian brain to do it for a minute or two every day, and attach it to another habit if you can. And whatever the thing is that you want to do, I would say it's a really, really, really good thing to read or learn something new every day for an hour. It's something I did for I'd say half of my 20s, and then I got lost in like the day-to-day of my life, and I really wish I had that hour per day of 4 or 5 years of my 20s back, where I wasn't so overwhelmed with work and life that I still prioritized growing. Because I think I would know more and be more right now than I was, than I am with that time, the way I spent it. You're always gonna have things that come up, but I don't think there's any job on earth that, within reason, that if you said to your boss, I absolutely am going to eat my lunch and learn something new that will help our company, help me be a better worker, and help me be a better, happier person and stay here longer, I would be very surprised if your boss is like, that's a dumb idea. They might have their like, oh, here and, reservations about little things here and there, but I've never had a boss that didn't respect me a lot more and super encourage me to do that. So, it's just about taking your time and using it to help you. If you're not going to remember your day anyways, you might as well do something that helps you in the future with it. I don't remember anything I ate 3 weeks ago. I don't remember anything I ate 4 days ago. I don't know how I felt about things 3 weeks ago. I don't remember a lot of things that I did or didn't do or struggled with more than a couple weeks ago. Isn't that funny? We have no idea what we feel like a few weeks ago. So yeah, one of my goals for a while was, if I'm not going to remember what I ate for lunch last week, I'm going to eat a healthy lunch. And I'm going to hate eating the healthy lunch every day because that sucks and I don't want to eat salad. But if I'm not going to remember it anyways, at some point, I know you have to enjoy life, but there's some things that are just investing in your future and yourself. And feel good about that. I know eating salad sucks, but feel good about future you, enjoying past you for doing that. Thank yourself for putting that effort in. So, anyways, that's where I'm here at day 4. I will keep working, keep trying, keep pushing, and we'll keep doing this. Thanks.